Hi, this is part 2 of chapter 5 of my manifesto, which is to be or not to be. Before I move on, I would like to refer to the science of all that I believe about pronouns. Humans are referred to as the Latin term Homo sapiens. The Latin definition of these two words is telling. Homo means man. Sapiens means wise. So scientifically, mankind, male and female, are referred to as wise men. Christmas comes to mind, don't it? Perhaps this is in direct opposition to the term Neanderthal, meaning uncivilized, unintelligent, or uncouth. And that's from the Oxford Dictionary. That brings us to the term of homosexual. This word was derived from blending Latin and Greek to produce a term used by many as the definition of people who have sex with their own sex. However, the word homo, same, per the Greek, sexual, which is sex, male, female, per the Latin vernacular, produces a term that literally means of the same sex. That's the Oxford Dictionary again. Now let me really blow your mind. Men are homosexuals. Women are homosexuals. The only people who appear not to be homosexuals are the LGBTQ plus community, who often find themselves in a body that does not match up with their mind's perception of who they are. It has been scientifically proven that all humans begin as female. That means you, buddy. However, when a Y chromosome is introduced into the egg through sperm, which originally carry Y and X chromosomes, Y or X dominates, and the sex of the embryo becomes more defined. It's interesting to see the completeness of a female egg and the confusion of a male's sperm. But I digress. Excuse me. Science has proven that every human is different, and sometimes that difference is presented through sexual orientation. Many Christians will tell you that God doesn't make mistakes. If you're born a man, you're a man. Period. Really? If God doesn't make mistakes, then why are many people sexually diverse? Perhaps God doesn't make mistakes. I believe this to be true. Also, some Christians will quote the scriptures that say God made them male and female, and even nature tell us the proper way to manifest our sexuality and how we should respond to each other. As a former dolphin trainer, I know from personal experience and observation and study that dolphins, as one example, are often found to be recreating with each other, contrary to their supposed true nature. Male and female dolphins frequently play sexual games with their own sex. Some dolphins are homosexual, according to the conservative Christian's definition of the word. Getting back to the point of this chapter, I believe the people in the LGBTQ plus community are being exactly what God made them to be. Perhaps they chose a more difficult mission, one that many of us declined, which would open them up to Christ-like persecution and yet give this world some of the most beautiful and loving and kind humans will ever meet if we only open up ourselves to their loveliness. Excuse me. Being a history major and having learned much about the past, I came upon a study that most Christians know nothing about. I say this because no church I know teaches what capitalized The Forge Online in October 14th, 2019, revealed that blows right out of the water the Christian attitudes towards the LGBTQ plus community and those within it. All, A-L-L, all versions of the Bible prior to 1946 used the Greek word, I'm pronouncing this the best I can, arsenokoietol, or I, to describe a sin so horrific that God ordained death for those who participated in it. The sin? Pederasty. The German word in translation from 1534 was, again, pronunciation, Knabenschänder, meaning boy molester. What was the word that replaced these terms after 1946? Homosexual. With all the pedophiles discovered within churches in recent years, it makes you wonder if some of these boy molesters were providing cover for themselves. I suggest you watch the documentary 1946, The Mistranslation That Shifted Culture, directed by Sharon Roggio, Roggio. So if you are a Christian or religious in any other way, if hate is what you offer to the world, you've failed your mission. If rejection is all you have offered to the others as you define them, you've failed your mission. Or have you? I truly believe that those without love for their fellow man, those who would oppress and or enslave their fellow man, those who would force their beliefs and religions on their fellow man, can only be one of two things. Two. A failed missionary or a tear. Not human at all, but evil sown into the world, whose judgment will be sure and swift when the time comes.